gives me great pleasure to be here this morning to officiate at this first Inception workshop on the review of the national energy policy, something that's been a long time coming, that's been drafted, that's gone up to cabinet before, but now hopefully now we are in the phase of being able to develop this policy once and for all that will give us a path forward over the next few years, especially over the difficult times that we face now and the difficulties that we'll continue to have into the future. So I'm very thankful that we have come to this stage, to this workshop. So on behalf of the government and the people of Fiji, first of all, I want to convey our sincere gratitude to the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and Pacific, UNESCAP, and also for the Global Green Growth Institute for all the assistance and for the support in making this workshop possible, and also for other things that they have done in the area of the energy space for us here in Fiji. We're always very, very grateful for the support that the Global Green Growth Institute and also UNESCAP has been providing for us. Last year, UNESCAP carried out a study titled An Analysis of the Power Sector Infrastructure Requirements for Electric Vehicles for Viti Levu, the first of its kind in the Pacific. And I was advised that this review of the national energy policy, and in this review, UNESCAP will provide the technical support on the data analysis and modeling and the formulation of the SDG 7 roadmap. And also, the technical support will be provided by the Global Green Growth Institute. All of us in this room know that our energy sector is very critical to us. It's important for us that live in this time and for those that will follow, and that this sector is confronted and faced with a lot of challenges. And I think you, the people in this room, know far more about these challenges than me. But these challenges include inadequate energy supplies, high reliance on imported fuels, volatility in global oil prices, and the risks associated with the impacts of climate change. And in addition, over this year, the current COVID-19 pandemic that has greatly affected our economy, the economies of our partners, and the economy of all countries in the world. And this, of course, is going to change the way we carry out our normal business, not only in Fiji, but all over the world. And the debate on these issues has been part of the agenda in most meetings and forums. The SIDS, the small island developing states, including Fiji, are very vulnerable to all of these externalities. Fijian government has made a number of commitments at the international, regional, and national level to transform and decarbonize our energy sector. A major operation that is going to take a lot of efforts from all of us. We are the first country to ratify the Paris Agreement and have made a commitment through our NDCs, our nationally determined contribution target, to achieve 30% carbon emission reduction by the year 2030 and further reduce to net zero emission by the year 2050. A huge challenge for us. To achieve the latter will require an investment to a tune of US $2.97 billion. And this will be carried out or achieved in three different ways. First of all, in terms of electricity generation and transmission, in other words, moving away from fossil fuel generated electricity to ones that is hopefully entirely based on renewable energy. Secondly, by the demand side, by making sure that we are more efficient in the way that we use the energy that we have, lightings and all of these other systems that we have. And lastly, in terms of the transport sector, for electrification, hopefully the use of biofuels and so forth in the transport sector will help us to achieve those particular targets. So for electricity generation and transmission, the total kind of investment that we need to achieve our targets in that sector will amount to US $1.67 billion. For the demand side, or in terms of energy efficiency, about US $150 million. And for transport, $1.149 US billion. So those are massive investments that we need to be able to source funding for through other partners so we can achieve these targets. Consequently, our 5-year and 20-year National Development Plan aspires to provide electricity access to all Fijians by the year 2021. That's next year. That has been our target. Make sure that every household in Fiji has access to electricity. And secondly, to increase the share of renewable energy to 100% by the year 2036. This is a target that the ministry is working at together with EFL and other agencies that are working in this space. These are very, very ambitious targets, which will require a lot of a concerted and a holistic and collaborative approach by all stakeholders. According to our 2017 national census, out of a total of around 191,911 households surveyed, a total of 96% of these households had access to electricity. And this had been an increase of 7% from the previous 2007 census. So over that 10-year period, there had been an increase in the number of households that had access to electricity by 7%. So 96% of all households in Fiji. And if you look at the urban areas, this is basically 99% of all urban households have access to electricity, and around 91% of all rural households have access to electricity. And that's how we get that average of 96% right across the country. In terms of our electricity access supply today, about almost 80% of our population, around 79, is connected to the EFL grid. And we have around 12.5% are connected through solar home systems. That has been a major program of government, of the Energy Department, and also of some other development agencies. And 2.5% of our households have access through village and personally owned diesel generators, and 2% are supplied by the private sector. So that's where the 96% comes of all households having access to electricity. That's the breakdown of how they're getting their electricity. We are blessed in Fiji with the abundance of renewable energy resources. We have water, we have sunlight, we have other possible sources of renewable energy, and this has enabled us to generate most of our electricity supply from renewable energy sources. Our total installed capacity is around 326.39 megawatts, where 129 megawatts or 59% comes from renewable sources. The average generation mix over the last 10 years, from 2010 to 2019, stands at 54% renewable, predominantly through hydropower. In addition, it also places Fiji as one of the countries that charges the least electricity tariff in the Pacific region, and this is including in comparison with other parts of New Zealand and Australia. So this is going to be an area of major focus for us. Hopefully getting more renewable energy sources. We know that we have the opportunities coming up in the planned projects in Ovalau and Taveuni for solar electricity. We have the Namosi hydros that we hope that come on board in the not too distant future. Those will help to move us forward in the direction that we want to move our energy energy sector. Ladies and gentlemen, the reform within our electricity sector will allow government to access international expertise and financing to meet long-term development goals and objectives. Furthermore, it will also provide opportunities for investors to invest in the sector as independent power producers. The impacts of climate change on our infrastructure, including energy projects and our grid infrastructure, cannot be overstated. These are long-term investments which are at risk when natural disaster strikes. During Tropical Cyclone Winston, 1/3 of our GDP was wiped out in a very short period of time. There have been a few other cyclones like Kenny, like Harold, which have also caused a lot of damage to our infrastructure, in particular the EFL infrastructure. So the need to put in place sustainable and resilient infrastructure is critical and will be part of government's development plans and objectives. For all of you that are here this morning for this workshop, your presence today is something that we appreciate, and it's a reflection of your commitment to contribute and to deliberate on the recent developments, on the challenges that we have, and out of this we hope that you will be able to come out and map out a clear direction for our energy sector. You are all experts in your different areas of work, and your contribution will allow the ministry to align the NEP document to complement other planning frameworks of government and the SDGs targets. So Thank you all for coming. I hope that you will have a greater opportunity to interact with one another. And at the end of all of this, I look forward to receiving the revised policy document that I hope to be able to take up to Cabinet and have it discussed at that level. And it will help us to move forward into the future that we want for this country. With those few words, I have great pleasure in declaring the first Inception workshop on the review of the National Energy Policy open. Thank you, Nawaleu, and God bless this workshop.
Thank you very much, sir. Your address this morning will be able to stimulate the discussion the team will be doing this morning. Before we move on to the